still on the team yet for tomorrow?
Yeah, I suppose it has come out. So yeah, still a bit to play out with training today, but yeah, Sammy Elliott getting the nod over Mitch Perry, which was a very tough call. Both have had amazing seasons. Blake McDonald's the other one that's missing out as well, who's also had a great year, and he's very stiff as well. So yeah, one of the harder calls I've had to make in my time as captain, but yeah, also a sign of a very strong squad, a lot of depth there, and we could have gone either way. So yeah, very stiff for those boys missing out.
What did it come down to, like tip?
I think you could have made arguments for both all day. We probably just had to make a decision. I think Sam's maybe had a slightly better season. He's sort of had that knack of picking up wickets throughout the year, but Pez has had match-winning moments for us as well. So you could go down a bit of a rabbit hole there and make arguments for both. But yeah, Sam's the one that gets the nod, and whatever happens in the game, Mitch has played a huge role. Came second in the Sheffield Shield Player of the Season as well. So that just shows, for him to miss out on our 11 is pretty remarkable.
How did he take it? I guess it's tough on anyone to miss out on the final, especially someone who's played so well all year.
Yeah, he's very resilient character, and he's probably seen this coming, that it was out of those two. So they've both been pretty open with their conversation, and they're happy to miss whatever's best for the team. So they're both great team players like that, and no doubt Mitch will be a great 12th man over the next few days. And who knows, with the injury substitute and all that that can happen. So 5-day cricket, he's got to be ready to go, and he might still be able to have a big impact on the game.
When you leave out a player of his calibre, does it place great pressure, I suppose, on all of you, as well as all rounders, to sort of perform, given you leaving something like that out?
I don't think so. If anything, you feel like you've got his backing, and he just wants, you guys to go well. He's one of my good mates. I'm sure for him and Sam, they're both competitive for that spot, but they're also really good mates, and no doubt Pez will just want Sam to go well, and for us to win. So I don't think there's any pressure, and I'd be disappointed if it comes down to that decision being the result of the game. So we'd like to back ourselves in and think that whichever way we went, it's not going to have a huge impact on the result.
There's a few proud Victorians than you. Obviously a long story history, your family in the state. What would it mean to you? Sense of hold the shield aloft?
Yeah, it would mean so much. It's probably the main motivator for my cricket at this stage of my career, and I've played in a couple of losing finals as well, which they've certainly stung at the time, and even still. So you hear about the past players talk about their Shield success so much, and the great Victorian teams that were when I was sort of coming through school. So it would mean heaps, and I guess I've been captain for a few years and come through with a lot of these guys that are in the squad and in the team at the moment. So to share it with those guys would be incredible.
Bit of weather around, and is the expected surface to play differently this week compared to last week?
Not overly. We were pretty happy with the wicket last week. If it's something similar that Kenji comes out with, we'll be happy. So I think that suited us and suited Todd as well, who bowled really well last game. Maybe it'll be slightly greener just to get through the 5 days, but hard to say. And that was a good surface last week, so happy with it.
Does your approach change with the weather, or you just play the game as it comes to you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's heaps of rain around, and you don't want to get too distracted by that first innings thing. You'd probably expect there'd still be a result regardless. So obviously you've got to be mindful of the first innings points there, and it can be nice to have that early win just in case, just for that momentum for the rest of the few days. But we'll play the long game. It's 5-day cricket, which not many of the guys have played, and just gives you that bit extra time to sort of settle in and trust that there'll be a result after the 5 days.
Was there a lesson out of that WAC final where, whether you guys got caught trying to go for those first innings bonus points back a few years ago? Yeah,
there probably was, to be honest. And even last game we spoke about the first innings points, just to almost have a bit of a trial run on how we want to go about it and make sure we won those points last game. We probably did stuff that up a little bit, to be honest. Not that it ended up mattering, but we just sort of panicked a little bit, and something that we hadn't quite thought about enough. So we've definitely had discussions about it, but again, you don't want to get too sidetracked by that, because no doubt there'll be a result, regardless of the first innings.
I know you put in some yards with your batting when you set out with that ankle through the Queensland game. What have you done? What's worked for you the last couple of games? Where's the success come from?
Fair bit, to be honest. That's sort of the way Chris Rogers goes about it. He likes to leave no stone unturned, but very grateful to have gone to work with him for those 5 or 6 days. I think just fixed up a few things like trigger step and hand position, and my back shoulder sort of comes around a little bit. So there's a whole variety of things there that probably had to knock on the head. Not that they always things creep back in. You got to stay on top of it, but it was good to be able to work with Bucky for a extended period of time and nut out a few things. So very grateful for him and Benny Rohrer as well. They've both been awesome for my batting and the rest of the squad with all our young players as well. So hopefully it's got the boys in good stead for the next week.
How important is the experience of someone like Pete Hansen and been for you this season, particularly in another bowler-dominated season? He's topping the run charts and chips in when it matters, but also from your captaincy point of view, having him to lean on, just how important is his role on this side? Yeah,
it's huge. He's probably our centrepiece there in the batting. He's so experienced in all different conditions. With the wickets being as green as they have, he's played county cricket and a few years of the greener shield wickets, so he knows how to navigate, and it seems like he's always got a plan or a go-to, for whatever bowler or conditions are presented. So, very, very lucky to have him, and congrats on him for winning the most runs again. It's a pretty fair effort. And then for my captaincy as well, he's always good to lean on out there. He's got so many different suggestions, and he's actually really good for working with Todd Murphy as well. He's got good spin ideas. So, for me as a young captain, I'm very lucky to have him, and also Marcus Harris and Scott Boland. Just can either throw the ball to Scotty or ask Harry or Pete, whatever they're thinking. So it makes my job really easy.
Just on the bowling attack, and obviously I know you're part of it, but what's it been like captaining such a strong bowling attack? Has there ever been a thing like, I need to make sure that this guy gets a go, or is everyone just very happy with it's all about the win, it's all about getting the points? And how's that been for you as a fairly young leader to manage that attack?
Yeah, I mean, it can be hard because we often play 4 quicks and a spinner, and when the games are so accelerated, it's almost hard to give certain guys a bowl. But it's professional sport, and you're not giving guys a go all the time. But there are situations where you want to give a guy a go just to make sure that he's getting a bowl and sort of feeling confident as well. I've probably had that with Toddy a few times, who unfortunately hasn't been able to bowl that much, but maybe when we get him 7 or 8 down, you just got to bring him on so that he can still sort of clean up the tail and feel confident. And it was awesome that he was able to get a good bowl last game. So my job's been made easy having all those options on the greener wickets, and even to have Ferg out last game, for him to come back in, he's been someone that I rely on a lot and just can throw the ball through the middle overs just to hold the board. So it makes my job super easy with all those options.
You sort of touched on it a bit earlier, but how much the depth of fielding for you burnt from some of those narrow near misses? I remember it was the tears a couple of years ago, but how much is that good for you?
Definitely a little bit. At the same time, it's a great effort to be able to make the Shield final, and I was proud of my own performances in those games. But obviously you can see that it stung me a bit, especially a year or two ago. The boys work really hard, and we pride ourselves on playing that final game of the year. So it definitely motivates me, but not as much as just being a part of this amazing group, and seeing the young guys come through over the last few years and the journey that we've gone on. I think we're going to be a good team for years to come, not just this game, whatever the result may be. I think you don't win 7 games in a season by chance, so I think it's setting us up nicely for years to come, which is really exciting.
Those couple of finals both in Perth, how different has the build up been this year at home?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Being at home, you can sort of do it how you want to do it, and just even being in your own bed and around family and friends is huge, and that's going to be something to look forward to over the next week. Especially Perth, you don't get further away from Melbourne than that. So it's just going to be an awesome week, and we were lucky enough to have Simon O'Donnell and Cameron White come in and speak to us a few days ago, both who have had home final success as well. So they gave us a bit of an insight into what that can be like, and I think all the boys are super excited to get underway.
What they share with the group?
I think Sod was running back some war stories from 1990, 91. So it was good to hear from him, and Whitey's, I think might have played in 5, 6 winning Shields, so just ridiculous numbers there, and he had so much experience. So just picked those guys' brains, which was awesome.